Hey everybody, you see the title? Look, this is the first. Well, actually, this isn't our first matchup. We've had a couple of other ones like Gabby Thomas versus other people before. But look, this is one of our first matchups during the off season. I think it's the second one. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these after you listen to this one and see what we're doing. But you see the title of the video. We're going to be analyzing Briana Williams versus Kemba Nelson. Ignore the lower left-hand corner where it says silver label. I have to analyze Briana Williams a little bit more. She may or may not be on the cusp of that or bronze label. Due to the amount of years that you need to maintain a certain mark, like silver label is top 20 for 3 separate seasons. But she got a medal, okay? She got a medal on part of the relay, and we weigh the relays at least equally, if not more, on this. So we have to consider that as the weighted breakdown. But here we go. It's Briana Williams versus Kemba Nelson. Let's get straight into this before we do our intro. Obviously, you know she has the an Olympic medal at this year's Olympics. She qualified for the World Championships in 2019, but unfortunately, those marks were all wiped away because she had unintentionally taken a banned substance. So that was marked away. And that goes into the weight scale here. As you can see, the Olympic rings, that's to identify that she's an Olympic qualifier. NCCA on the other side for Kemba Nelson. That means the AA, not African American, but all American. Now, I would say champion or something like that, C for champion in there, but that was indoor, and I'm weighing the outdoor since we're going to be comparing them. But as far as the indoor, one of the things we're comparing them all, she's the NCAA 60-meter champion and record holder, okay? Now, when it comes down to it, this is what we're looking at. Who's the better starter? This is the sub-label right here. Who's the better starter and who would win in the 60, as well as what they're looking like on the outside. But before we get into that, don't forget, as always, we got to kiss the diamond. That means like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share the video, okay? Because you are watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. Don't forget that this video is sponsored by viewers like yourself. Check out Patreon, as well as our collection down below on OpenSea in the description below, as well as the Cash App chime sign, which are exactly the same, $ Head and Shoulders ATR, and the PayPal for those donations. I appreciate everybody that supports this channel. Now let's take a look at this again. Remember, we have Briana Williams versus Kemba Nelson. Look, in order to look at this, let's bring this up here on the screen. In order to look at this, we gotta, why am I on 2018? Oh yeah, here we go. We have to see that Briana Williams has been a star at a young age. She's still younger than Nelson here. But when it comes down to it, let's do an honest look at their matchup. Briana Williams is slower on paper in the 60 meter than Kemba Nelson is. But one of the biggest differences is, I want to point this out. Look at the personal best. Remember that she ran a 7.15 against the headwind. Now, this is outdoor. I don't know what it is as far as the air dimensions, the temperature, and everything. That can influence the times, right? So she happened to run 1 or 2 weeks later, right? Slightly slower with no wind. Okay, now this is weird. So that means she didn't have as good of a race at this 60 meters. That's evidence right there. She ran against a negative 1.1 headwind, which really means you lop off some time there, right? And then she comes here 2 weeks later. It's a head scratcher. I'm literally scratching my head right here. And of course, she sets the national U20 record. Okay, that's the thing that people got to remember. Briana Williams is still 19 years old right now. This is what she did when she was 18. Okay, now let's look at this. Let's go to Kemba Nelson in the 60 meters. Okay, now she ran against a headwind. That ain't a good time at all. Okay, in 2019. But here we go. Look at this. This year she ran a 7.05 60 meter indoor. and that's good enough for the NCAA collegiate record, okay? She has been blasting out of the blocks. Now, the reason why I'm comparing them in the 60 is because Briana Williams tends to get out on the field. She's right up there. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is either not starting as well as she has in the past, slightly slower, or she's right around that mark. But comparing her to Shelly Ann Fraser-Price in the same races, she's usually now getting out, at least this year. And in the past, she's been able to get out on the field. So she does have a good 60. Obviously, the way that Otto Bolton and her are working together, he may have her better condition for outdoor than she is earlier in the season. We know how that is. So I wonder if we were to do this and do a comparison later. But as far as it is right now, who would win in the 60? I think it's going to be a close call. Let's cut to the chase right here. But I'm going to give that to Kemba Nelson. And the reason why, I'll bring her up on the screen here. I'm going to give it to Kemba Nelson. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because as far as that 7.05, that's no slouch move. Briana Williams, there's no telling, especially when the 60 is run, which is earlier in the season, there's no telling what type of shape. Now when it comes out for, when you saw them at the Jamaican trials this year, when you saw them run, and you see them in the same race, it looked like Briana Williams got a better start than her at that race, right? So when it comes down to it, that's why I said it's going to be a close call. If this is done at any other time of the year, it could go to Williams. But I'm going to give that to Nelson. Now, who wins in the 100? Now, we can see their PRs really quickly here. The 100 right here with just a 0.1 tailwind, okay? For those that don't know, a plus 2.0 is an illegal win. Anything over a plus 2.0. So if it's 2.1 like this one, this has 2.2 as has an asterisk mark. That's because it's not a legal time. But you can get into that. You do your research on that on your own. But here, 10.98. Okay. Now, technically speaking, Briana Williams has run a 1094 or something legal, but then that time got wiped away because she was unintentionally on performance enhancers. So her personal best is a 10.97. Now look at the tailwind here, okay? The tailwind is 1.2 meters per second, right? So if this is the case, at least I think it's measured in meters per second. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. In this case, it looks like the advantage is to Briana Williams. To Kemba Nelson. Here's the problem with this. Here's the problem. And if you guys say also that it depends on the temperature as well. But if you guys say, oh, the track surface or anything like that, a lot of these collegiate tracks, these collegiate stadiums, they are built on the same material that University of Oregon is built on, especially the ones in the SEC, right? And they are not Mondo tracks, okay? They are the material that you pour in there, and I think it has to be heated in order for it to harden or whatever on the track, okay? So those are different rubberized types of tracks. There are at least 5 or 6 different companies that I know that's in the pamphlet that they give out to USATF on, hey, here's the guide here for you guys to buy a track, right? And so it really just depends. Now, I would say just based on their matchup of how it's been going, I mean, Briana Williams is beating her. She beat her out for the relay squad, right? She finished 4th at the Jamaican trials. Kemba Nelson finished 7th. So we can see it there. But matching them up on another time, here's why I think Kemba Nelson would lose. Okay, let's take that off the screen. Where's the picture of her? Okay, looking at this. Kemba Nelson is her form. Her form, I don't know what it is. She runs her 60 like this as well. But look at her right here. She's in lane number 6. This was at the NCAAs. Now, I was actually surprised that she didn't. I thought she could have gotten 2nd because of that surprise performance that came out of Sturgis. Like, if it wasn't a surprise performance, I thought that her or TT Terry or something like that would have been the two that you've been looking at, right? Now, Terry performed up to what she should have been doing, but Kemba Nelson, she's leaning forward. This lean at the end of the line, okay, cool. Look, this is how she's running, okay? This is how she's running. Look how early she is. Even, is that Clark to her left? So even that, you got, let's take this picture off. Yeah, that's Clark to her left, or her right, our left. She's still upright until she gets right up to the line. Kemba Nelson runs forward, and that's going to be her biggest disadvantage with every single matchup with Briana Williams. She has that forward lean. Remember, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price will have the forward lean. It's not as bad as Kemba Nelson. And even Fraser-Price, that wouldn't happen until, I think, about 70 or so meters into the race, where it was really pronounced, because back then she didn't have the strength that she has now. Right, and we kind of saw it two races this year where she did the forward lean like she used to. Now, Nelson, that's going to be her biggest advantage. Why? You're leaning forward. You can't get your knee lift as high. She's rocking her body a little bit. And so if I had to put them next to each other, where's my verdict on this in the 100? I'm going to give this to Briana Williams, but it's only slight. Once again, they are very, very close together. They are very, very close together. And if it comes down to the 60, I'm giving that to Kemba Nelson. But the problem also with Nelson is that she has been running through a collegiate season. Give her more rest like Briana Williams has had. Have her rested legs and then have them race against each other. I'm going to give this to Nelson. I'm going to call this right now. I think Nelson may be able to beat Briana Williams out in the future when she's done with the collegiate, if she can make that transition. Not all athletes can make that transition. What do you guys think about that one? Not all athletes can make a successful transition from collegiate to professional, or from any other level to professional. Doesn't really matter what level that is. So what do you guys think about Briana Williams and Kemba Nelson? Oh yeah, and by the way, here's one more thing. If you guys are still watching this, don't forget that our next videos that are here, we're going to have the matchup between Catherine Ibargüen and Yulimar Rojas for another versus matchup in the women's triple jump, as well as Timothy Chariot versus the world in the men's 1500. Don't forget to check those out. I'll catch you all on the next one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Peace.